Okay, so I've got my 3D scene from After Effects. It's open in Cinema4D. I can see where my solids were that I created from After Effects and my tracked camera, and I can see that's all working. So I'm going to bring in my background footage so I can test it. So first of all, I want to make a background object. So I'm just going to go create environment background, and I'm going to create a new material that has my video footage on it, and that's going to go in the background. So I'll go create new material from my materials menu at the bottom left. I'm going to double click that material, and I'm going to load the material into the luminance channel so it's not affected by any lighting in the scene, and we'll always be able to see it. And I'm just going to browse for that footage. And no, I don't want to copy it in the project location. Okay, so there's my footage, or there's an example of it. I can see the first frame. So I'm going to drag and drop this material onto my background object. And what we should see is we should see the first frame of our video footage in the background. Now this is a background object. It's like a 2D layer in After Effects. It's not a 3D layer. It's not a 3D object. So if we tumble around in our 3D space, the background doesn't change at all. So that's really important to note. That's not a 3D layer, it's just a background image. The other thing you'll notice that if you scrub through your timeline in Cinema4D, the background picture doesn't change. So we're not actually seeing the film footage, we're only seeing the first frame. So I want to change that so we can actually see the background footage. So the way that we do that is to double click the material that has the film footage on it. And we need to go down to the editor option on the left hand side. At the top of that there is an animate preview button. We can turn that on, and we should see now when we scrub through the timeline we're actually seeing the film update in the background. So now if I actually look through my tracked 3D camera again, I can just press on that little wee crosshair icon next to the camera till it goes white. Now I'm seeing pretty much what I saw from After Effects. There's my footage in the background and the solids in the foreground, and they all seem to match up in perspective. So the important thing there is that the tracking that we did in After Effects and the adding of the solids to give us some visual reference points, that seems to all have translated fine into Cinema4D. So that's looking pretty good. So we can save our scene from Cinema there, and now we're ready to add any kind of 3D objects or MoGraph stuff into our Cinema4D scene.